Okay, so right here we got the 2017 Can Am Outlander L. It's a 450. So I got two of them. They got the red one over there, and they got the yellow one here. The only difference is that the red one got a passenger seat. This one only have a single seater. The both 450s. So with the red one, this one here was it was backfiring and it was stalling out. No matter how much additive and fuel cleaners and injector cleaners I added to this, I couldn't get it to stop backfiring and stop stalling out. So I took it to the shop after I think it was sitting for like about 2 years, 2 summers, and while I was still trying to work it, and I finally took it to the shop. The shop they replaced. Yeah, you should be able to see it. The clean white piece there, that's the whole fuel pump going into the fuel tank. They charged me a total, well, the pump itself, OEM part was $336. And labor was another 300 and change. Yeah, so that was a pretty heavy hit for Gamma repair. But now it works good and stuff. And then like about 6 months later, this one decided to start acting a fool. So after spending so much on that one, I decided to stop being a lazy mechanic and do it myself. So this one is giving the same problem. I know when I went to the guy, he said that he took off this whole side and he had to wiggle the fuel can out. And I know on some videos on YouTube, most of the time they don't have the type of ATV that I have. But the video on YouTube say you just take this piece off, this whole side off, and then you could be unmount these and you can be able to wiggle it out. No, that wasn't the case with these. It was nowhere close to being that easy. So, for the most part, I followed what YouTube said to do. So I had to take off these fairings on this side. I disconnected the shock, the spring, from here and here, because the way how it's set up, you can't, when you unbolt it, it can't slide left or right. So I had to, and then this is blocking it. So I had to take off this piece, take it out, drop it down. So I got it there, got a tire off. The fuel tank is loose. It got 1, 2, I think 3 nuts and bolts holding it. One here, one on the other side, around this area on the other side. And then there is one, let's see, straight ahead there where the hold is at. Release those 3 and the fuel tank would start wiggling like this. Now, I started to check, because the fuel tank got this bulge right here. Let's see. This piece right here is a bulge, so it's getting blocked by this metal piece right here. And I can't twist the fuel tank because the clearance is only a limited clearance. And you know, it wasn't adding up. See on this side. Yeah, it wasn't adding up to just wiggle it out of there. Even if I took this piece off, it wasn't adding up because this was sticking out. So I started to unbolt this, top, bottom. I figured if I unbolt this with these 2, where is it at? These here and this one here, I'll be able to take this bracket off. So I went to unbolting and I was like, man, why isn't it coming off? So this is a whole entire piece. It comes here, up, and it runs across to the other side, and it comes down just like this. So it's like a V. All these bolts would have to come out in order for me to get this piece out, including this panel right here, and be able to slide the whole fuel tank out. So I was like, man, I'm not doing all of that. So what I did was bolt all of this stuff back in that I unbolted, and I was able to, let's see if I can slide this out to the side. Oops. Okay. Whoops. I still think I took off a little bit, disconnected a little bit too much, because this is, yeah. So I don't think I needed to take all of this and disconnect all of this. But either way, I got it all off. I put the battery back in to test it. Otherwise, this would have been able to lift up. See. So, let's see. All right, so this is the pump that he replaced on the other four-wheeler. You got your hose. It's like a, you got this hose which goes here. And then this is your fuel. It sucks the fuel out, or pushes the fuel out. And then you get a wire connector right here. So it's pretty simple. Just disconnect this, unscrew this, which was a different type of clamp here. I had to buy this here because the old clamp is a one-time use. Anyways, when you disconnect this, you slide this off, and then your pump will be able to come straight out because you have enough room now to pull it out. All right, so when you pull the pump out, this is how it look. Oops. It'll be seated, let's see, inside a tank just like this. This is how it look. So apparently, he said that the strainer or the filter right here was clogged, and it had a lot of gunk inside the fuel tank. But when I took the fuel tank off, well, not off, but when I opened it out, I drained all the last little bit of fuel that it had in it. And I was looking in there, and I was like, man, they ain't got no gunk or nothing in there. It's like damn near clean. So I took the old pump that he had into that one, and I put it overhead to see if it'll run, and it was still doing the same thing. So I put the pump from this one back in there just to test it out, and it was still doing the same thing. So I was forced to order a whole new pump. Now, like I said, this pump costs $300 and change, which is our OEM part, and I got it on Amazon for about $134 or $146 as a whole assembly. So I bought the pump. It's on its way today. And I also bought the filter. So I'm gonna try the filter first, which is get this little pin out and then slide this whole blue filter piece out, this flat piece, and I put the new one on and reuse the same pump. And if that don't work, then I'll use the whole assembly that I got coming in the mail and use it. So hopefully that works. But before I could even get to this, there is this piece right here. This is like the big nut that holds the fuel pump down. Okay, that whole piece. So being in the spot that it's in and limited space to get your whole hand around it, there was no way I could have get this off. I tried a channel lock, wasn't big enough. I tried a screwdriver with a hammer. That didn't work. All it did was, see, it broke a piece of the plastic. And then I tried a channel lock that my neighbor had. I tried my channel lock, it was too small. I tried his channel lock, it was too big. And none of them had a good grip to turn. So I had to Google and find that there's a specific tool to take these off, which is a fuel tank retaining ring tool. And I got this from Blair's Farm and Fleet. They have like a little repair shop in there that they sell tools and repair vehicles and stuff. But anyways, fuel tank retaining ring tool. This was about, let's see, I think about 30 something dollars. Yeah. Okay, so this is how it look. It adjusts to whatever you need it to adjust to. Different sizes. And what you do is, oops, there we go. You slide it on. It'll slide on like that. And then when it's tight, you got it in there, you just turn it like a normal like socket or wrench, whatever you put. It comes with its own, let's see if we got it here. It comes with its own adapter. Okay. Comes with its own adapter. You just place it in there, and then you start turning it. I use a breaker bar to do the turning. And that's about it. When the new part comes, I will test it out and then do another vehicle. So we know for sure if it's the fuel pump or the fuel strainer. I'll test both of them. And I will update y'all on my findings. So again, this is a 2017 Can Am Outlander L. And it's a 450.